Hey ladies and gentlemen, Ralph's Automotive. Got a little bit of a review. I picked something up on Amazon. Absolutely not a sponsor. This is Astro Pneumatic. Like I said, absolutely not a sponsor. They ain't gonna send me nothing. Here is a pressure tester, and I'll go through there. It's actually not in the kit, but it was suggested with the kit, so I went ahead and bought it. But what I did buy is this dude right there. Everybody knows that watches my channel. We use vacuum fill all the time. That's a pressurizing unit right there, thermometer. You got all these adapters with the exception of these three here. They're sold separately. I'll have to link what kit it is, but it's a pretty complete kit. It's even got these right here. That's great to see in a kit. And let's see, this should be the paperwork. Let me put the camera down. I mean, that's getting ridiculous with the shaking, so it's much easier to do like this here. Of course, here we got the warranty cards and all that good stuff. This is the first time I've used it. Model 78585. There you go. So that's that model. Now I want to be, some warranty information that came with it, and that is about the extent of it. Does not have a book that tells you what cap goes where. This one happens to fit. It's only the 8 or 9 one that I grabbed. But anyway, give me just a second. Get my bearings here. I want to be fair about this. I'm going to do this as fair as possible because let me tell you something. I've had this kit right here for a long time. I mean, long time. I'm talking, had to been 20 years. Well, this is not, let me rephrase that. This is not the only one that I had, but anyway, I've had a kit just like this right here for a long time. Well, this thing made out of brass and all that good stuff works phenomenal. Okay, this kit here has been phenomenal for many years. There's drawbacks. Okay, so the drawback on the kit is, and this is a complete review, so bear with me or move on to another channel. The drawbacks on the airlift kit is, or kits similar to that you have to switch around your hoses. With the Astro here, what it amounts to is everything is all in one. You can actually let this siphon the air out of the coolant system and even purge your hose. Okay, and this can be on, off. So here we open the valve, turn that system on, and I'm sure the camera can pick that up. We're pulling the vacuum. I didn't close the valve. It's pushing it or pulling right back through. But anyway, that's just demonstration. This is, I mean, the kit works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. However, here is a downfall on it. Astro Pneumatic, if you're listening, junk, absolute garbage. Put silicone hoses in that. That stiff ass crap right here is going to do nobody no good. It's aggravating. The fitting ain't heavy enough. As you can see here, the fitting is not heavy enough to even straighten the hose out. So that's going to be aggravating, having to hold a daggum thing in a bucket or whatever you're mixing your coolant in. So far, from what I've seen, the kit is pretty complete. I mean, it's great. It's going to be a pleasure to use it as is, but the hoses are garbage. They're absolute garbage. It's cheap, chintzy hose. I think we could do a silicone or something like that, a better quality hose that stays pliable down to like -40 or -100. I don't know. They make those hoses. This is garbage, other garbage. Now, you know, this vehicle don't even have a hood on it yet. I got no way to hang this and then do this at the same time. I mean, yeah, it's another step, but just the idea of that kit is rather pricey. But you know, the idea of it is when you make a kit, you put a price tag on it. If you got to put silicone hoses in it, I mean, charge $30 more. I don't care. I paid the $30 not having to mess with this. Put a weight on the end of it to where it hangs straight all the time. I don't want to fool with that. Okay, so that's the best I can tell you as far as it's doing its job. Let's go ahead and... Oh, another thing is, again, works perfectly fine, worked perfectly fine for many years, and it's going to be working years to come. I'm talking about the airlift, okay? But what's nice about this is you get the fittings. The fittings, it's a lot nicer to adapt to something like this. Plus, when you do the kit, and again, it's not advertisement for them at all, I'll give you a close-up on this dial. Well, maybe I'll give you a close-up on the dial. Let me get my noggin out of the way. All right, so automatically the fitting is going to be the same. All right, same thing here. Let me get my air hose off. Get this untangled. This aggravating. I can't say it more than I can say it. So, valve is closed. Our dewey is on. We're going to turn it all the way off. So we'll kick the valve on. All right, so here on the gauge, we have stages that tells us what we're pressurizing. So right now we're pressurizing the system. Close that valve. It's holding good pressure. All right, but essentially, this is what you would do. I'm not going to pressurize the system. I don't like doing that if it's not needed, and it's not needed. Bleeder over here as well on the side. So you ask, why am I worried about this right here using shop air when I can just use the pump that comes with it? I mean, it's a pretty good sized pump, probably pumps it up pretty fast. However, here's a problem. Many times, at least in my shop, I'm chasing cracks and stuff like that that are not directly visible. And you sit here and you pump it up, you give it the beans and you're pumping it up, and by the time you get around to looking where you hear noises, the pressure is done depleted off of it. So that's what makes this shop air tester pretty valuable, in my opinion. That is, you know, that's just my honest opinion on it. And what else can we say about this? I get the weight problem. I get that. They got the plastic on here. I don't know what's inside. I think they use too many plastic parts. This is a little bit on the flimsy side. It's loose. I don't like that too much. Don't know about functionality, because this is a tool that we use all the time. And when I say all the time, I mean all the time. We use these things. I mean, every time anything is to be done to a cooling system, I use them. You know, there's no two ways around that. So, you know, plastic, that's, to me, that's a little bit of a drawback on the system. Functionality, so let's demo this side here. Actually going to close this off when we get done. Like I said, close your siphon, close that off. You hide that if you want to hide it. It collapses the hoses. I'm sure you can see that. I mean, it's got a pretty good, that's a pretty good pull. This thing here is empty. We did an engine replacement on it, so everything is drained. So it's quite a significant amount of air in it. Even the heater core was blown out, so it's already in the yellow. At this point in time, you know, we can go ahead and shut the valve off, turn the air off. That's great. That makes that great. You know, we don't have to listen to that air. We got a complete vacuum on the system, and now we're going to put our hose in the bucket. Of course, we have to hold it, obviously, but anyway, open this valve up. Now, if we had liquid in here, we could have purged this and opened this one more time to regain, or for that matter, leave it running, and you can purge it just like so. You purge it a little bit, you get fluid up here, you shut it back off, close your valve, close your, turn your air off, and there you go, you're ready to go. Virtually no air left in the system. A lot of times, I know people get themselves wound up on it. A lot of times that little bit of air out there don't matter. It does not matter. Normally, when you pull a good vacuum on a system like that, it'll fill it to where you don't have no problem with having to burp it or anything like that. But anyway, I think that pretty much sums it up. If you have questions, comments, you know, leave them in the comment box. You know where to put them. But anyway, that's my review on this tool. I wanted to do that because this is the first time I used it, and I really like it. You know, it's got some downsides here, but you know, it is what it is. And this is a coupler, by the way, as well. So that is actually a coupler. So you are going to be able to take this hose and take it off of that. One more comment I have to make. These hoses here tend to get even stiffer if you leave the antifreeze in it. The best thing to do is have you 2 buckets ready. I try to keep one with hot water. You know, put this Dewey in hot water, and by the way, it does have a screen. Sorry I didn't say that. Put it in hot water and get the antifreeze that you just sucked through it, get that all out of there. You know, they do tend to get, matter of fact, it happened to this one here as well. And I did make that comment before. Actually, this is a bigger diameter, and I think it's more pliable than what this is. That used to be clear. That's what the antifreeze did to it because I didn't take it out of the hose. But that's on me. You know, I like this pickup on this one here a little bit better, but that's nothing to do with functionality. That's just personal preference. Anyway. This is my review of this Astro Pneumatic siphoning tool, kit, I should say. And, well, like I said, if you have questions, comments, throw them in the comment box. And I'll get around to it when I get around to it. Thanks for watching. Alright, talk me into it. Let's throw in a little bit of bonus footage. I got thinking about it, and I figured, why not go ahead and do it to it. So I got everything ready to go. Go Zeus. No, got antifreeze over here. Go. Pop. Let's close these valves off. Go. No, got antifreeze. No, got antifreeze over here. No, go. Go. Back. Thank you. Now watch if I didn't create a leak because I took top hose back off to get everything put together. Go ahead and see if it'll do what it's advertised to do. So got some antifreeze mixed up over there. Good old Ford antifreeze coolant, which we may be doing a flush on this truck. It's pretty bad, so this is way in the red already. So I'd say this is to the point where we can actually shut her off. Actually, we want to leave it running and do what I said to do earlier. So I'm sure you can see that hose. This is the aggravating part. Now you got to twiddle with the hose. Purge this hose. So I'm opening this valve up. Now you go slow, and we're not losing any of the antifreeze. Okay, So like I said, this is aggravating with the hose here, but I'm going to try to do my best to get it done the right way. They could have prevented this with a little bit of silicone hose, but I'm going to quit bitching. So I'm going to shut this valve off. We already got our hose primed here. We can turn the air off and go ahead and kick on our antifreeze now. Of course, all the while watching to make sure you're not drawing air. The smaller diameter, we can tell already it's taken quite a bit longer to put the antifreeze in there. So the airlift is much quicker, but this ain't about a race. Still 20 times better than trying to bleed the air out of the system for 2 hours. So we're still a good negative here. We don't have fluid up top. I wonder. Yeah, I mean we're still real good on that fluid. I mean on the vacuum. Sorry. And I'm nearing the end here on my fill, so I don't want to put no air in the system. I'm gonna have to shut her off. So I'm still fully in the red right now, and I know I'm not filled up. I'm gonna have to refill this. So anyway, while I do this, there you go. I wanted to throw that in there. I wish that hose was more pliable. I cannot stress it enough. You know, this is a nuisance. Put a weight on it. You know, maybe put a weight on it. There you go. That would be a solution. Put a real heavy weight on it. That way you don't have to fiddle with it, like I just had to, because I was getting aggravated a little bit. Sorry about that, but you know that this stuff can be prevented. We'll see you on the next one.